Um, Aside from the
Now everybody scream enough respect to the X. Enough respect given.
now, the first thing that they showed were probably the most interesting. Their new line of Galaxy Buds. They call them the Galaxy Buds Pro. They're, from what I saw, they look kind of nice. I still think I prefer the uniqueness of the Galaxy Buds Live with their bean shape. But these ones look nice. They had a nice kind of metallic finish to it. It did come in what looks like to me a type of lavender or purple. So you know, just like that, you know, they piqued to my interest because I don't have a pair of purple earbuds yet. So the color alone had me wanting to make the purchase. But aside from the look, the feature set was also somewhat surprising. It had some tools there that I personally haven't seen in other headphones or earbuds as of yet. The main thing that caught my eye was the I think they called it intelligent noise canceling. Is that right? Yeah, the intelligent ANC. It's where the earbuds, they can determine if you are talking to someone or not, and they adjust the volume of your music to a lower level so you can take part in the conversation without you having to stop your music or turn on the volume yourself. Something very similar to what the Pixel Buds do, but those do it when there's loud noise. Like the perfect example I had is when I used the Pixel Buds to cut my lawn. The buds turned up the volume to counter the noise of the lawnmower, and when I was down, the buds turned the volume back down. Now with the Galaxy Buds Pro, they can do it with voice. It can detect when you speak with someone, and if you're playing the music, it will adjust the volume accordingly to a level where you can take part in the conversation, and when you're done, it puts the volume back up. I can see that being very handy, especially if they are as comfortable as they claim them to be. You won't ever have to really take them out until they die. And according to them, they run about 8 hours of regular use with an additional 20 hours of power in the case. Now, if you have the ANC on, that usage drops to 5 hours and 13 hours of power in the case. Either way, it's a pretty good use, or you can get some pretty good use out of them as far as the power goes. They, according to them, they have 3 mics. Wait, hold on. Let me check the Duo. I did take notes. All right, so they do have 3 mics, which they say improves call quality. Mics they actually adjust to where they hear these voice coming from to better pick it up. So that should allow the user on the other end of the call to hear you that much clearer. It has a little vent in it that is used to drown out wind, and so that when you speak, the wind doesn't come through to your conversation. The AirPods Pro have something similar to that. I haven't used them enough to know offhand how well it works, but the fact that they are held in such high regard, I would assume that it does. So this Pro version of Galaxy Buds has a similar use. They are IP7 water resistant. So if you are going to the gym, if that's something that you do, you know, the way the world is, if you sweat during your workout, the Buds Pro should be just fine. It does have a feature here that I don't think they mentioned in the Unpacked event. Maybe they did, but I read it elsewhere. It's able to do simultaneous recording. So the Buds can sync to your device. Let's say you're doing a movie, a vlog, whatever it is. They can sync their mic to your phone's mic, and you're able to actually record what you are saying and what the phone is picking up on 2 different channels. So when you, at least from how I understand it, if I'm understanding it correctly, when you bring it into your computer or your editing software, you'll have one channel with your voice and one channel with whatever the background noise was. So make it easier to edit your sound. If that's how that works, I think that's actually really cool, because I have had some issue with my edits where I really wanted to take something out of the background, but it would conflict with whatever I was saying, so it had to remain or had to re-record it. So if that works the way I think it does, that'll be a huge help. So between the color, purple, the simultaneous recording for vlogs, and even the price, it's saying it's going to go for about $200. That's a $50 difference between that and the AirPods Pro, and around a $20 to $30 difference with the Galaxy Buds Live. So it's right in that sweet spot. Not too expensive, but not too cheap either. It gives you more than the Galaxy Buds Live for a slight premium. So I think I'm comfortable with the price point on the Galaxy Buds Pro. So that was very exciting to me. They release, I think it's tomorrow. I think they said the 15th. So I need to go see if I can grab those from my Galaxy store, or what's called the Samsung store in my area, and just see how well those guys work. Well, actually, the next thing they showed off was the tags. The Galaxy tags, these little square tags that you use to locate lost items. You put the tag on it, and the tag syncs to your phone, and you can use the SmartThings app to find whatever item the tag is attached to. They did have this one example that I think would be very handy, where the tag was on a dog's collar, and the dog was too far for the person's phone to pick up. They said that the tags can actually sync themselves to other compatible phones to, I assume, boost the signal, and whoever is trying to locate that tag will be able to sense other people's phones, and those phones will tell them where the signal is coming from. So I don't know how many phones are compatible with this. They said Galaxy phones, but I highly doubt it's only Galaxy phones, or like whatever phone can use a tag. I'm sure Samsung would much rather be able to sell these tags to anyone and allow all of them to get the full use out of it, instead of trying to close themselves off and lose sales because such a handy feature only works with their devices. So again, you know, I thought that was kind of nice. Not overly excited for it, but I do see how it could be useful. So I might end up getting 1 or 2 just to, you know, just in case. Never know when you might misplace a key or a dog, I guess. And now the main thing that they had, of course, was their new line of phones, the Galaxy S21. There was three of them, like most of us knew: the S21, the S21 Plus, and the S21 Ultra. Now, like I said in my previous post, I think that the Ultra this time around is the device to actually look into. Yes, the S21 and S21 Plus came in purple, so again I'm drawn to it. That purple with the gold accent was just a thing of beauty. But being that I'm not in the market for a device like that per se, because I have other phones that are comparable to the S21 and S21 Plus, the Ultra is the one that piques my interest the most, color aside. Now, the S21 and S21 Plus seem more like upgrades to the S20 FE. The FE was their fan edition to the S20 that came out, I think it was late summer. I do have it. Again, it's doing the recording. Wonderful device. When I saw the specs and all that, yes, there were slight spec bumps in most areas, but not so much so that if you had an F20, you would really need to consider purchasing the S21. There were actually some areas where the S20 FE still bested the S21 and the S21 Plus. For example, you have more customization of your RAM with the S20 FE. A bigger battery in the S20 FE. It was just little areas where the S21 just had a slight improvements over the S20 and the FE, and it really made me think like, well, if you are in the market for one of these, you might really want to consider again the fan edition of the device, because it ticks every box. There's one of the main things, aside from the larger battery in the FE. The FE has an SD card slot. Now, to some, they say, oh, well, you know, if you buy whatever configuration, you get all of the space you need. Well, you can buy that same configuration with the FE and then put in even more storage if you need it, because your phone will eventually fill up. I mean, people say, oh well, we have cloud this, cloud that. It takes a while to upload large videos and pictures to these cloud applications. It isn't 1, 2, 3. So even with 5G, I mean, perhaps the 5G in my area isn't that great, but a large video might take a while. So little things like that. The FE also has 120 Hz refresh rate. The S21 has a variable refresh rate, meaning it will go from 10 Hz to 120 Hz refresh rate on your display, depending on what you view. I mean, they say they do this to save power and such, and I mean, I'm sure that it does. But to my knowledge, the F20 doesn't have that, and my power with that phone's fine. It would have seemed like the S21 has lost a lot of the features from the S20 line, but to counter that, it actually starts at a lot less than the S20 line. You can get an S21 for $800. I think the S20 started at $1,000. So, you know, though they took things away, they did drop the price. But they took things away. They took out the power brick. I mean, this was said before, and it was confirmed today. There is no power brick in the box. But again, they did drop the price. So no power brick, but you can get the phone cheaper. And they never said you had to buy their power brick. But if you did, their power brick is also at a more affordable price. So to buy the phone and the power brick as is with the S21 is still cheaper than the S20 last year, which would have cost you $1,000 for the phone and the power brick. So you know, they took it away, but they still made it accessible, at least more accessible if you are one of those who may need a power brick for the phone. So not as bad as, let's say, Apple, who took the power brick out the phone and they just said, F it, if you want a power brick, it's the same price it's always been. Also, the S21 is no longer a 4K display, it's now a 1080p display. Some might see the difference, some might not, but it's just like, again, like they're going backwards. All of these things that were available on the device last year are no longer available with the device this year. Yeah, so the S21 Ultra has all the pros and cons of the S21 and S21 Plus, but they did, again, because it's the Ultra, give it that little extra to make it be that much more appealing than the previous two. The main draw for me was the fact that it's S Pen compatible. So this S21 is more like the Note line. They've been talking about this for a while now, and it's finally been done. They put the Wacom digitizer from the Notes in a S device. Now, from what I understand, from what I saw, though it has an S Pen, it's not the high-end S Pen that the Notes come with. It's not the Bluetooth S Pen that allows you to do all of the Bluetooth stuff. Like, there's no taking your picture at range with the S Pen. There's none of the air gestures and all of that, because there's no signal going to the pen or from the pen to the phone. But they do have that pen though. So this was something I didn't see. But there's actually two different pens that you can get for your S21 Ultra. There's the regular one, then you have the S Pen Pro, not available yet, but that one gives you all the air gestures and Bluetooth connectivity and will need to be charged. So I thought that was nice. And another surprising thing was they actually have, where they said that there's other manufacturers making their own version of the S Pen. Now that's really nice. Someone might just have that S Pen that just blows your mind with its look, with its feel, with the material. Someone who might think outside the box and give you a truly unique S Pen experience. So I also look forward to that as well. Well, aside from the S Pen, the cameras, of course, got an improvement with the Ultra. There's, I mean, I'm not a camera buff, but there's two zoom cameras, a 10x and a 3x. It's 108 megapixels, a whole bunch of camera terms and stuff, but it's supposed to be the best camera that Samsung has as of now. And if you are into mobile photography, it might be the one that you choose to get. There's a whole bunch of camera jargon, but it all came down to much better night pictures, less blur when someone moves. You know, that's pretty much it. And the zoom is just that much better. With the device last year, the space zoom, from what I saw, was pretty much a mess when you really zoomed out. With this particular zoom, they seem to have cleared that up. When you zoom in, it's still kind of blurry, but it's able to fill in the textures more and fill in the gaps, because the AI pretty much has an idea of what you're looking at, and it tries as best as it can to bring the picture into focus. So nice little camera tricks there. Nice little device. They spent a lot of time on the color. It's black. Maybe I have to see this black to compare to another black to see exactly why they spent 4 to 5 minutes explaining how they made black. But like I said, I haven't seen the device, but from what I've read and what I've seen, it's matte black. But you know, it's their matte black, like how Apple has their red and what have you. I never got that, but you know, they're very proud of the black that they were able to put on this device. So it'll be interesting to see how that black compares to my other black phone. Yeah, but that was pretty much it. Interesting phones. I do like the design this year. I do like the color options, at least for the S21 and the S21 Plus. The S Pen compatibility of the Ultra is the standout feature of these devices to me. Some might say it's the cameras. Like I said, I'm not a big camera guy. I will not say that they're bad cameras. I haven't used them, but I've been pretty content with the cameras that I have. The F20 has a great camera. The V60 has a great camera. Hell, my iPhone Mini has a great camera. So for me to get a device, the camera is not the selling point for me. It really needs to come with something extra, something unique. And in the case of the S20 Ultra, the S Pen compatibility, the various S Pens that are coming out, the cases that they have for the S Pen. I mean, that's not the phone, that's accessories for the phone. And truth be told, if those accessories were on the other versions of the S21, I'd be gushing over those as opposed to the Ultra, but they're not. So just like that, the Ultra has my interest. Unfortunately, it doesn't come in purple. I don't know if the cases come in purple. It's just silver or black. Very boring color choice. I'm sure that you could probably go on D-brand or one of those things to change the color with a skin, but they put so much work into their black, you know, it kind of feels bad to put something over their black. Anyway, with that said, my name is NG, the Neon X, and Samsung Unpacked 2021. This is what I'm into.